Welcome, welcome everyone to the Virgo full moon lunar eclipse ceremony. Today is March 2nd. This is happening tomorrow morning. So not as early as usual, but early enough. Let's call in sacred space. Let's all take a big deep breath in. And as we exhale, we're dropping our grounding cord, sending our roots down, down into the earth. And then inhaling, drawing that earth energy up through our bodies, sending it up and out through the top of the head, connecting with the heart of the divine above us. Inhaling, calling that cosmic energy back down through our bodies, sending it all the way down into the earth, activating the as above, so below flow, connecting with that flow, breathing in, breathing out, activate the as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul. Moving to the north, we welcome Mother Earth. We give such great thanks to be here in physical bodies doing this sacred work right now. Moving to the south, we welcome water. We welcome clear, clean, current emotions. We welcome love, joy, flow, and abundance. Moving to the west, we welcome air, mind, focus, and clarity, all of our guides, angels, allies, and helpers. And moving to the east, we welcome fire and movement and passion, divine right action. Moving to the center, we welcome our divine feminine and our divine masculine in sacred right relationship. We call that beautiful energy down through our bodies. We call up Mama Gaia to pull and magnetize that energy through us. And we welcome our own sweet, extraordinary souls into the circle. We ask that all of these energies be with us, pray with us, and dance with us for our mutual benefit. Here we go. Oh, yeah. everyone. Glad all of you are here. I may have said this on some of these other videos, but for those of you that are new and haven't heard it, I just want all of you to understand how much I appreciate you showing up for these. When we do this together as a group, or when you do it on your own, you cannot imagine how much you are doing for the planet, not just for yourselves, but it's like mom needs to know that we're with her. And doing ceremony is one way. She hears us. The elemental forces hear us, and we take a stand. So I know that you all enjoy getting the information, but I want you to be aware that this is a conscious act on your part, and I appreciate that. I see you, and I thank you. Okay, take a moment. Just close your eyes and feel into your body, drop in. I know for some of us, it's been a week. And so just let yourself settle for a little bit. Let your body hold you. Drop out of your head and down into your heart space. Connect with your soul wisdom. And let's see where we are. All right. So let's catch up. As if we didn't know, the moon's waxing until after tomorrow morning. When it peaks in the morning, then it will begin its descent. Uranus is now direct in Taurus, as if we didn't know. But all of the nice little surprises that we're seeing on the physical plane, that's why. And there's two things I want to say about everything that's going on the planet. We are all participants. We have all known for some time, whether consciously or unconsciously, what was afoot. And to some degree, we're all responsible. We would like to blame, and make no mistake, I'm right there with you. But we have to own our responsibility for it. The fact that you're here proves to me you are. And then we have to shift our prayers. We have to ramp that up, because what's happening on the planet cannot stand. And I think all of you are with me on that. Jupiter is still retrograde through March the 10th. Mercury, I mean, this is some soupy mess, but it's all happening for our good. Mercury is retrograde till the 20th at 3:33. And the gods of change, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, are still in that lovely little grand trine till September, and Saturn's going to hang with them till April. So we've just completed a little over a month with Neptune and Aries, and 2 weeks with Neptune and Saturn conjunct. And we can see already the beginning of this rare shift, this generational cycle that lasts, with Neptune, it lasts till 2039. Now, Saturn, it'll only be a couple of years, but that's a lot for those two to be hanging out and for us to see what we've been seeing. Right, there's more threes. I'll show you those threes here in just a moment, Val. And that is no accident either. The last time this happened was in the 1860s, a period, what as we all remember, of revolutions, identity awakening, radical shifts. And, I grew up when I was in school learning about those times and revering all of those. Those were my idols as a little kid. The folks that were involved in those revolutions. We're being called to that kind of action. And so that's why this full moon is actually a blessing. And you're going to get to see why here in just a minute. But the truth is, many are saying even more than ever, the end of waiting and wishing is over, or the time of waiting and wishing is over. It's time for action. And we're being asked to trust ourselves, initiate the life we've been sensing, and act from inner truth rather than fear. So if you've been feeling like there's places that you need to clean up, there's places where you need to start over, speak up, finally move forward, now's the time. A new era begins now. But we're going to look at what's really happening first. Jamie, honey, it doesn't happen overnight. I wish it did. Yeah, Mercury's having fun with a lot of people. Okay, here we are. The total lunar eclipse blood moon will line up on 3/3 at 5:38 a.m. And some people are calling this 3:33 Pacific time. But it's very close, within 5 minutes. So more threes tomorrow. And that's in the morning. So this is really cool. If you're on the East Coast in the United States, you can be able to see the sunrise and the moonset eclipse at the same time. It's also in a wedge, and I'll show you what that looks like here in just a minute. That includes 7 planets and points that we're going to look at in detail. The eclipse will be visible from North America, Western South America, the Pacific, Australia, and East Asia. So a lot of us will be able to see it. And it's a partial eclipse. It starts at 4:50. Totality will last from 6:08 a.m. to 7:02 p.m. I put this in Eastern time because that's a really good, if you're in North America, that's where the time starts, and then it ends in Pacific time. So that's why I did Eastern time. And so that you could see, if you're on the East Coast of the United States and you get up early enough, you may be able to see the eclipse and the sunrise, because it's going to be, so Eastern time, it's going to be 6:38 a.m. in the morning. And so there you are. Everybody will be able to see it, at least people in North America, South America. Is it still daylight time? It is. Thank you. Who shared that with me? I don't even know. Leslie, thanks, Leslie. It is still daylight savings time. So yes, Eastern daylight time, not Eastern Standard Time. So just, so Mercury can mess with us a little bit more. I don't know if anybody, it's like, I have heard stories about how our ancestors, they knew that eclipses weren't anything to mess with. And they didn't go outside looking for them. They stayed in and did prayer work and, kind of, and I heard someone else say that this is the week to lay low. So I don't know how many pictures you're going to get, Val. Yeah. Begins this, so that'd be this weekend, right? Yeah, begins March 8th, standard time, at least in the States. I think it's different in different parts of the world. So we're not going to get into that. And if y'all keep texting me, I'm never going to be able to get through this class. So you have to remember, lunar eclipses are supercharged. They're a supercharged full moon. And usually those lunations last for about 2 weeks if it's just a full moon. But eclipse lasts 6 months. And so everything we're going to say about it today can actually go on for 6 months. And I'm really happy about that because I like what we're going to say about it. Ordinarily, we would say, and this is Virgo, so if you get, and I have gotten the urge to clean out a cabinet or two, if you get the urge to do that, that is her influence. She's the sign of the priestess. That is her going, okay, let's get our ducks in a row, get things in order. And all of us seeing what's happening on a global level, same. Let's get our ducks in a row. Let's get things in order. So generally speaking, in Virgo, you have special support for changes in your sacred service, how you support your health for yourself and others. You can also focus productively on refinement, editing, improvement, organization, ceremony. But this one is a bit different. I have a little video I send out sometime about this, this guy's running around his house with a vacuum cleaner. It's like, it's time to get this place cleaned up. Not this one. This is more inner. And we'll talk about that in a moment. This is rare, what we're experiencing, because it's a Mercury retrograde and a blood moon. They only happen together once or twice, maybe a year. The last time was 2023. The next time is 2027. So it feels a little chaotic, maybe in your personal life and on the global level. This is a cosmic reset, and we're in it. So personally, and every other way, I mean, it's global as well. The past is going to resurface. Old wounds, old patterns, old versions of yourself are going to show up. Intuition is going to be really loud, louder than logic, dreams, gut feelings, synchronicities, all of that. So pay attention to them. Don't ignore them. Relationships may be tested or maybe even ended, but what's not aligned with where you're going is going to leave. And you're going to need to do your best not to hold on to the past. Your body is going to make you slow down. I mean, yesterday I got to go hang out with the grandbaby. But when I got home, I was gone from my home less than 24 hours. And I had to lay on the couch for 2 hours. And I mean, it was a beautiful weekend. But your body's going to make you slow down because the transformation that is happening globally is happening cellularly. So don't fight it. This isn't a time to just push through like we would normally want to do in a time of Virgo. No, this is a time, 2 hours. Exactly. Because we can, I mean, I'm sure, that for me was about in the afternoon, probably about 1 or 2 o'clock. And that's the window, this full moon window is opening. So perfectionism is going to be exposed. You're going to see where you have been trying. Now let this land, because this is old programming that needs to go. This is, if you're wanting to release something, release this. Where have you been trying to earn your worth? Get the pat on the head, do the good thing, be the good daughter, be the good employee, all of that. It's like, begin to just be. Just realize your worth just from showing up, from what you carry, not how you perform. Because that is the programming that needs to go. That is what has fed the system that is acting out uncontrollably right now. And we all need to put a stop to that. And it has to stop inside. Okay. Here's the picture. Let me see if I'll put us all down here a little bit. Well, maybe. Lord, where can I put you? I'll show you the picture in a moment. This lunar eclipse's aspects form a wedge. So you can see the wedge pattern, and there's some blue, and most of the red are conjunctions, and we're going to talk about those. But the moon, that's what I want you to see. The moon over here in Virgo is also side by side with the south node, so things of the past. And it's opposing the sun over here. And notice all these are in Pisces. The sun, the north node, Mercury, and Pallas Athena. So that's all this red line action. We're going to get to the trine action here in just a moment, because it's good. Mercury is in retrograde in Pisces. So the moon is opposing it, so they're bumping heads. But the question you want to ask yourself is, what changes would help you think, learn, teach, write, or communicate better? So, instead of seeing Mercury as, because what we're supposed to be doing, and we're going to talk about this at the end when I tell you what we should be doing. In Mercury, all the retrogrades, we're supposed to be chilling. We're not, that's why they tell you not to sign contracts. We're not supposed to be trying to move forward. We're supposed to be just chilling out, integrating all that we've learned until Mercury goes direct again. So when you hit a stop, when Mercury stops you, begin to think, okay, what's this message? Mercury's in Pisces. And so think about how can you open to more intuitive flow, which could include channeling for others, letting new ideas come in. Pisces is inspired creativity. It's that Neptune action. So how do we integrate what we know spiritually so that we can share it with the world? The group that is here right now has a lot of wisdom that the world could benefit from. How are you going to share yours? Pallas Athena. The moon opposes Pallas Athena with a tight orb of about 0.5 degree. So that means they're toe to toe. And Pallas Athena represents creative intelligence, strategic thinking, and an independent spirit. She is a warrior goddess that can help you solve problems, recognize patterns, and fight for your ideals. But unlike Mars, who will default to conflict every single time, Pallas is a peaceful warrior. She uses logic, planning, and expert maneuvering to prevail, or even better, to achieve win-win outcomes. So when you're in conflict and, relationships may be tested, when that kind of things come up, those kinds of things come up, you can lean on her. You can lean on your inner wisdom and look for how can we both win? No matter what you're seeing in the headlines, hold the vision of win-win. Use your heart mind to figure out a higher path, not just for yourself, but for the planet. And pray that in. Okay, the wedge, Jupiter. All those opposing planets, when planets are nose to nose like this, it creates tension. And Jupiter is at the apex of that tension. But Jupiter represents hope and optimism, as well as new adventures. He represents the endless quest for higher wisdom and sharing it. Once again, there's that sharing it theme once you have it. So your journey could take you someplace. You might end up, the one thing that we have said about this time for months is that this is the time when we need to be ready to pivot. You never know. I was on phone calls right up until 3 minutes before this call of things that are just out of the blue that I'm going to have to deal with when I get off of this call. So you never know what's going to happen. That's the nature of this time. But be prepared for things that might feel foreign to you. Jupiter's in Cancer, and that rules emotions. Mercury and Jupiter will love to engage your brain, and you have Pallas Athena to help. But consider with all of them, heart wisdom, divine Sophia, what you carry with you. We're all here on this planet because we chose to be right now, because we have wisdom and information that the collective needs right now. So that is trying to get activated in you, no matter, when whatever shows up, and it will. I've had several emails already this morning. When it does, it's like, okay, what is this trying to teach me? Show me what needs to shift. So how to use this portal. Treat it like a spiritual retreat. And remember, it's not just 2 weeks. We get 6 months. And we've been building up to this. If you've been with me for the past few months, we knew the fire horse was coming. We've been doing our clearing, doing our intending, doing. Okay, now stop. Go in. Because that's what Mercury retrograde is calling us to do. That Piscean energy, all of it, go inside. Do not try to manifest or force your intentions. I wouldn't even, other than releasing things, I wouldn't be setting a whole lot of, I'm going to create this right now. You want to be going inside. You want to be asking questions, because eclipses remove things. They don't build things. They get the debris out of the way. We've been setting the intention to release, release, release. So instead, rest, track your dreams. Your subconscious is trying to get messages to you. Journal, capture those messages. Gentle detoxes. Clean your space. If you have to do something, clean out a drawer, clean out a closet. Notice your triggers. Watch your dreams. Practical or practice radical self-acceptance. So don't criticize yourself through all of this. Virgo rules the body, so stay hydrated, stay nourished, simplify. Pisces rules the spirit, so pray, meditate, surrender. Do your best not to let yourself go to those bad places. Mourn the losses of this planet because they are many. Mourn our lack of being able to stop what we're seeing happen in front of us. But practice compassion for yourself and for other people. Honor this liminal space because we're in the cocoon. And those of you that have done priestess, this is the meltdown. This is where nothing looks familiar. And we're in the I don't know space. This is the falling apart before you're reborn. So it's initiation energy. Saturn and Neptune are still at 0 degrees Aries. Before new consciousness can form, we have to clear things out. Remember, you're not a victim of this event. You're a participant. You chose to be here at this moment in history because you have wisdom that we all need. So what do you need to release that's outdated? Both, Valerie, both, for the next 6 months. I'm sure that these 2 weeks are going to be the most intense because we're in that retrograde period with Mercury, and then Mercury's going to go direct, and we'll get back to our regular business. But this is our practice. And I mean, you all know me, sacred rhythms. I've been telling you to do this stuff for years. It needs to be part of your daily practice anyway. So this is going to force us to do this. Okay. So here we go. This is not a casual astrological phase. It's a powerful window of redirection, a period where subtle shifts, unexpected thoughts, sudden clarity can alter your soul path, your trajectory, your fate, your long-term direction. Just like that. It's not just about endings and beginnings. It's a course correction. Thoughts may feel different. Priorities may shift. New ideas or directions may emerge without warning. And it's not random. This is, like I said, we plan to be here. And we made an agreement with the powers that be. Okay, if I am not on track, knock me upside the head and put me back on track. So here's some thought questions. I'm going to give us a little time to journal with these. Are there people or influences in my life I may need to clean up? And I see this over and over again. We have a tendency to just be human, which we are, and to go through our everyday life just like normal, which, that's what we've been used to doing. But at some point, if you find yourself beating your head against a wall around certain things, you have to begin to ask, and those of you in Source Light School, you know what I'm getting ready to say. How long are you going to expose yourself to those places? How long are you going to keep going? How long are you going to keep ingesting that thing that makes your belly hurt? I mean, all of the things. It's like now we're fire horse energy now. Those kind of things are going to have to fall away, or you're going to be dealing with more than you bargained for. Virgo asks not just what you envision, but what in your daily life must change to match your truth. Once again, there was a show when I was a kid called Hee Haw, and there was a little vignette that they do, and the punchline was stay out of those places. So at some point, we have to decide to stay out of those places. And it can be mental places that we go. Women like to really get angry at people that we think are causing all the disruption on the planet. And we may have to stay out of that place too. Where does your reality need to adjust? What habits, routines, or environments are no longer aligned with your destiny? And what is all this turmoil trying to teach me? Where do I need to wait? And where do I need to move forward? So I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to either write those questions down or journal with them a little bit if you have time, because I still want to give you all the information from the card. So get your journals out and at least write down those questions. Because these are the kind of questions we need to answer. Another one you could put on there is, what did God and I agree I'd do when I got here? And get really clear on that. Because all of us are being called to step up and do the thing that we came here to do. All right, we're going to keep going because I want to give you the information on these cards because they were potent. So in the Earth door, I pulled present moment. And this is going to be very important for us now. Keeping your energy in the present moment is the most efficient way to get your creations into form. You can't change the past and you can't control the future, but you can choose your actions in the present moment. And of all the times I can think of on this planet, present moment behavior is important. Bringing all your energy into present time is the most efficient use of it. If you have found yourself lost in worry or concern, you're leaking energy that you could be using to create. Where are you stuck in the past? Where are you holding fear about the future? What should you be using your energy for instead? And if you need more help getting in present time, go outside. Move your body. Focus your attention on taking action on a project. Get out of avoidance and into present time. Yes, for sure, for sure. So I will include the slides when I send out. You won't be able to get them on YouTube unless I may be able to put them in the little message box, but you can, I'll send out an email with all of them in there. Just watch for the email. I still get people that say they don't receive it, but I send it out every time. In the water door, I pulled love. The most creative healing force on the planet lives in the water door. Love can fix anything. Love is life force. It is the creative energy that heals. There's absolutely nothing on the planet that adding a little love to cannot improve. Scan the landscape of your life. Where do you need more love? Where do you need to give more love? How can activating love increase the flow and overall vibratory rate of your life? And where do you need to apply it now? And then air, the air door. This, like I said, very timely. Far sight. Imagine an eagle soaring high above the earth. Eagles are said to have the best sight of any bird and have often been associated with the air realm. This is because they have the ability to look ahead to see what's coming. They also fly high so they can get a big picture vision of the landscape below. As we create our lives, we too need to develop the ability to rise high so we can see far into the future. What effects are our actions now having on generations to come? How will what we do right now influence the future? Where do we need to be mindful of those coming after us? In our own creations, what do we need to know about the future so we can create in a good way now? And then in the fire door, I pulled courage. We are all going to need that right now. Any creative endeavor takes courage to initiate and complete. It takes courage to look clearly at ourselves and see all the places we need to make adjustments without judgment. It takes courage to continue to follow through on tasks and complete them to bring the creation to completion. It takes courage to face setback with the confidence that this is just another opportunity for growth. Where do you need courage to move forward? So I thought that was a very timely card. And then in the spirit door, I pulled higher self. Your higher self is the part of you that is always connected to the upper realms and divine energies. It loves you with an unshakable love that never ends because it knows the depths of who you truly are. It works tirelessly to remind you of this, knowing that when you truly remember your divinity, this life won't seem so difficult. Its goal for you is always self-realization. Even though it loves you deeply, it has very little concern for egoic needs and desires. It will always steer you toward the higher path and always meet you with total unconditional love. Take some time and reconnect with your higher self. What does your higher self want you to know right now? And I'm going to give us a little minute here to journal with all the cards, but especially that one. What does your higher self want you to know right now? All right. We just finished Light Infusion 101 this weekend, and Light Infusion 102 begins tomorrow. If any of you are on the fence about this, this is a very good way to do everything we've been talking about today. So if you've taken 101 and you haven't taken this and you're thinking about it, I would not hesitate because it may not be back around for another year. So, all right, kids. I've given you a little time to get guidance. I'm going to tell you to get guidance for the next 2 weeks and then the 6-month window. I mean, use this time. When we say we're at a threshold, this is like the threshold to beat all thresholds. We're literally the ones that got chosen to lay down the new age. So don't waste this moment. We have a lot of support. Let yourself be supported and use it. You are very, very welcome. And don't leave until you finish the ceremony. Get up and dance. Once we dance, I close circle. That's when circle's over. All right, y'all, let's get up and move. I think I have a slide for this. Yes, I do. Here we go. Hunter, I love watching you dance. All right, everyone. I give such great thanks to the elemental forces for holding space for us today. I give thanks for all these beautiful souls that showed up to do their sacred work today. And I close this circle in the light. All right, loves. I will see you soon. I'm going to have to stop, share. All right.